Hey guys, welcome to Master Programming Tips and Traps MFC programming series. In this video, let's talk about invalidate and InvalidateRect member functions of CWnd class. So let's get started. As we all know, Windows will send wm underscore erase background and wm underscore paint message automatically when my window region gets invalid. So when does my window region gets invalid? The scenarios are whenever I move the window, or whenever my portion of a window is covered by another window, whenever I resize or maximize or minimize a window. These are the scenarios my window region gets invalid. So whenever window region gets invalid, Windows will send these messages wm underscore erase background and wm underscore paint automatically to my application. So if I don't handle these messages in my application, then it will go for default processing. So the default behavior for these messages is it will paint the background with white color. Now we have seen that Windows will automatically send these messages whenever window region becomes invalid, right? So then how do I generate these messages manually? See, there may be chances like I need to update Windows region in periodic intervals. Say for 30 seconds, I need to update the window regions manually. So then how do I generate these messages? So these messages are generated by calling this CWnd member functions invalidate and InvalidateRect. So in episode 15 of this video series, we have discussed about what is foreground painting, what is background painting, what is WM underscore erase background, what is WM underscore paint, and what is invalid region. So if you haven't watched that window, I would recommend to see that video as well, and I will share the link in the description of this video series. So we saw that invalidate will generate wm underscore paint message to update the window region manually. So this invalidate takes one boolean parameter. By default, the value of this boolean parameter is true. So whenever I pass true to invalidate, it do both background painting and foreground painting. So if I pass true, then I need to handle both wm underscore erase background and wm underscore paint in my application. If I don't handle any one of these messages, then it will go for default processing, which will paint the background with white color. So if I want to do only foreground painting, then I can call invalidate with false parameter. So invalidate will update the invalidate will repaint the entire client area of a window. So, and the next function is InvalidateRect. If I pass null as the first parameter, then there is no difference between invalidate and InvalidateRect. So InvalidateRect takes two parameters. The first parameter is pointed to rect structure, and the next parameter will be Boolean type. So this Boolean types tell what kind of painting we need to do. Whether we need to do both foreground painting and background painting, then pass it as true. If I want to do only foreground painting, then pass it as false. So if I pass null as the first parameter, then it will repaint the entire client area of a window. If I want to update only specific portions of a window, then pass the rect structure as the first parameter, which is having the coordinates of a window region to get updated. So I have written one sample application which is having one menu item, and it will call this invalidate function to manually generate both background and foreground painting. Whenever I click on a menu item, Windows will send wm underscore command, and the appropriate handler in MFC is on command. And this is the message map macro for on underscore wm underscore paint. So here this is the menu ID for my menu item, and this is the member function, or this is the menu handler. So what it should do when I click on this menu item. So inside call invalid, which is the menu handler for this menu item, what I am doing is first I am calling invalidate with true parameter. So if I pass true, then invalidate will do both foreground painting and background painting. So I need to handle both the messages. If I don't handle any one of the messages, then it will do default processing, which will paint the background color with white. So in this sample, I have purposefully avoided wm underscore erase background to see the consequences on the output. So in this menu handler, I can comment this as well. So in this menu handler, I am calling invalidate equal to true, which will generate wm underscore erase background first, followed by wm underscore paint. And this is the message map entry for wm underscore paint, and this is the handler for that one. Okay. So inside this, I'm creating a device context class, which is of type C paint DC, and I'm creating one counter variable to count how many times on paint is generated manually, or how many times window region is updated. Since this text output don't and this counter variable is of type integer, and this text output does not accept integer type, here I am converting integer type to string type and passing value to this text output function. So this will print the text in the window, and this is my application class, which will create the frame window object and display the window. So I will execute the application. So in the sample application, I have not handled wm underscore erase background message. So it will do the default processing, repaint the client area with white color. So if I call invalidate with true, it will do both background and foreground painting. So I will execute this application. I'm building the solution. My build is successful, and executing it. So initially, whenever a frame window is created and displayed, it will call wm underscore paint message automatically by Windows. So now the count is 1. To invoke the paint message manually, I need to click on this menu item. So whenever I click on this menu item, you can notice that inside on paint is going down one by one. And the reason behind this, we have called invalidate with true parameter, and it will do both background and foreground painting. Since my application does not handle background painting, first what it will do is it will repaint the entire client area with white background. Then it will call WM underscore on paint message, which prints this text to the window. Or I can say in other words, before printing this text, every time it will repaint the client area with white background and it will print the message. So next we can see what is the consequence by passing false to this invalidate method. So whenever I pass false, it will generate only WM underscore paint message, or it will do only foreground painting. So there won't be any background painting whenever I pass invalidate as false. So I am executing the application. My build is successful and running the application. So now I am clicking on the menu item. So now every time before generating WM underscore paint, it won't do background painting. So the Windows client area is not repainted every time with white background. So we are able to see that inside on paint one by one. The same thing can be achieved with invalidate rect as well. So if I want to paint only portions of specific area, then I need to pass rect as the first parameter to this member function. Or if I want to repaint the entire client area, then I can pass null as the first parameter. And the Boolean value determines whether we need to do both background and foreground painting, or we need to do only foreground painting. If I pass false to the second parameter, it will do only foreground painting. When I pass true in the second parameter, it will do both foreground and background painting. So I will execute this application and run. So it prints the message one by one. So since I have not handled background painting in my application, it does default processing. Hey guys, if you have any questions, please write down your questions in the comment section. Meanwhile, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.